Hello everybody, it's Notarad here, covering some of the real basics of Battlefield Bad Company 2. A lot of new players are coming in and buying this game in preparation for the Battlefield 3 that's coming out. And they have some of the same questions that I had when I first joined, such as jumping in a helicopter and wondering how to fly it, and they end up crashing it 3 feet away from the landing pad, which irritates everybody. So the best way to find out about all the toys in Battlefield Bad Company 2 is go into your server browser and find yourself an empty server. Make sure that the full and empty don't have the X's in the boxes, and just do a search. And then sort by players so that your empty servers are on the top, and find a map that's going to have all the toys in it that you want to play with, such as heavy metal has a few helicopters in it that we can cover, and we can cover all the weapons and everything all in the same time. So we'll enter the battle. Okay, the first thing I want to cover is weapon spray in Bad Company 2. We'll do a hip fire here, and just holding down the mouse button to fire your weapon. You'll notice that the weapon jumps all over the place. Move over a little bit, we'll scope in, just hold down all the trigger. It jumps over, just not as bad. Now, we'll do it in 3 or 4 round bursts and show you what the difference is. Okay, so this is hip fire, fully automatic. Big splash area. Scoped, fully automatic. And it's all over the place. Trigger control, 2 to 3 round bursts, right there. So you can see for yourself the difference. That trigger control is in ammunition. Throw it wherever you see a bunch of people hide behind a building or in a path where you know everybody's going to run past. You get points every time somebody collects ammunition for you. You can leave it there, run away, and every time somebody passes over that sucker, you get points. Engineers need ammo massively. They have rockets and a small magazine clips for their machine guns, which go through bullets really fast. So definitely help your team out by throwing down ammo. Same as medics, same policy, throw it down where a lot of people are going to pass, or they're going to hide behind objects, sort of idea. So the classes: drop the ammo, drop the health. Now the attack chopper, everybody wants to fly, but they always end up crashing. So in here you push your E to get in, W will raise you up, S will bring you down, it'll decrease power to the rotors, A will turn you to the left, D will turn you to the right, and then you have your pitch control with mouse moving left, mouse moving right. Now we'll go up, way up, if you're not afraid of heights, and pull your mouse back towards you. You'll notice the nose pitches down and you start moving forward, keeping your finger on the W to supply power to the rotors. Now you are supplied with rockets as the pilot. And so you got to control your flight as well as you see where the crosshairs are. Now, in a real situation without being an empty server, people are shooting at you. You got tanks shooting machine guns, you got anti-aircraft gun, you got people shooting tracers at you, the whole bit. So you're going to be dodging them left and right, the whole bit. And as you see, not all my rounds are hitting on that target, because I'm concentrating on staying alive and keeping this chopper going. So always, when you first get in a helicopter, wait for somebody to jump in your gunner seat before you take off. And I'll show you why over here. Spin this baby around. You've seen what happens when you're trying to avoid bullets. you as a pilot don't have all that great accuracy. We'll switch over to the gunner seat. This is your gunner. He has explosive round cannon, and he has a pretty good view, so as long as you keep that nose pointed basically towards the enemy, he can bring them down in a hellfire. And the reason why he's so good is because he doesn't have to fly and aim, he just has to shoot. As long as he's got the target basically in the area, he just has to shoot while you are dodging back and forth trying to avoid all the hellfire coming on to you. So we'll jump back in the pilot seat. F1 and F2 jump me back and forth. And we'll just lift off here. Now once you fly around, get used to the controls, you can do all your fancy flying, practice, and because you're on an empty server, chances are, kaboom, this won't affect your kill-death ratio because the scoring is usually disabled on an empty server. So you can die as much as you want just playing around. Now, you want to be an engineer whenever you are going to be in command of a vehicle. And I'll basically show you why when we get into this. Enter. A little crash there. Okay, so that's not too bad in flying that. What we're going to cover next is the troop transport helo. This, as a pilot, it sucks. You got no weapon. I'm pushing both mouse buttons and I have no weapons. Now what you do have here is you do not want to take off until you get a gunner or two or full load. You notice over here by the right bottom, that's by health of the helicopter. You have a position for the pilot. You have a position for your right gunner. You have a position for your left gunner. And you have two passengers. The great thing about this troop transport, you can fly over top of enemy LZs, such as flags. People can jump out of this, parachute in, and if they get killed, they'll respawn on you or at least one gunner. Keep at least one gunner in there to protect you. And as long as you stay basically around that flag, they can parachute right back into the drop zone and get right back into the action. Okay. Now these are Gatling guns. We'll collect some wood for the barbecue tonight. And you can switch back and forth by using your F2, your F3, your F4, and your F5. Alrighty. Now, this thing flies a lot different than the attack helicopter. It flies like a pig. It's hard to control. It's almost as if your mouse is moving in slow motion. So if you start heading towards the ground like that, you have to start coming up early. And again, on the empty server, you can practice this. And come on, get up there, you pig! It'll take a little bit of damage. Notice my health will go down to 74. Get back up in the air. And this is why you want to become an engineer. As people start shooting at you, you're going to get damaged. So if you can find some cover and land behind that cover, such as a hill, we'll land right over here by our home base. It's covered, nobody will be able to shoot at us here, and hopefully we can get out. Because I'm an engineer, I can now repair my helicopter, and I can get back into the action to help support my troops out on the ground, and they will thank you for that. This is the same holds true for the attack helicopter. As soon as you start getting damaged, get out of the action, repair yourself, get back into the action to support the troops on the ground. Alrighty, because they're the ones that are going to win the flags. And we'll just let that crash. Okay, next thing, tank. It operates pretty much the same as any of the vehicles. W to go forward, S to go back. Your mouse will control your turret. Now notice where my crosshairs are. I'm just going to demonstrate gravity does work in this game. as well as Battlefield 3 that's coming out. My crosshairs are on this close building. I hit where I aim. Notice the building up on the hill. I'll put my crosshairs on it. Watch how far this side that round drops. Way off target. Not helping anybody. This is where the empty server comes in handy. You can practice all you want without people trying to attack you. Practice how you got to put the crosshairs in order to hit targets at a distance. Now notice the length of time it takes for your round to get downrange. That's important because if you got a moving vehicle going across your plane, then you not only have to lead ahead of that vehicle because of its speed, you have to lead ahead of that vehicle because the round takes a while to get there. So that's a double lead you got to remember to do. And again, practice will do that. Get a buddy to join into the server with you to practice. He can drive back and forth because it's an empty server. Usually the scoring is off, so you won't get any KD hits for killing each other and having fun. And you get to try out all the different weapons and what the different attachments do as you get them. And you can do this right off the bat or anytime you get a new weapon that you want to play with. Alrighty? Now, I want to cover one more thing. Somebody asked, how do you change views in a helicopter or in a tank? You notice if you push your C button, you now have a third-person view. This works in the same as any vehicle, and this is great for seeing if any snipers are sneaking up and putting C4 on your tank. It's irritated me having somebody sneak up while you're over there trying to help out your troops. Now, a tank is usually a long-range weapon, but don't be afraid to get right into the action to help your troops out. They can hide behind you, you can take a lot more fire than they can, and they can get right up to the flag with you. And again, KD isn't all that important. The important thing is to do whatever gets your team the most points. So I think I covered all the basics of this stuff, the main questions that everybody has. You got your weapon spray. Just remember trigger control. Practice and practice and practice. That'll train your muscle so that you don't even have to think about it once you pick up a heavy weapon. It'll just go nuts. Another thing I want to mention, reloading. Now, when you're in a firefight, you kill the guy, then you forget to reload. Then you get in here and you try to spray, and all of a sudden you have a long time to reload without any ammo. Now you're dead because they got the drop on you. Always getting in the habit. I'm starting to train myself, so I'm to blame for this as well. As soon as you kill somebody or as soon as you duck behind something to get cover, use that opportunity to reload. Always, always, always. Alrighty? That way when you move into a building, hide in a nice little safe spot, reload. As soon as you come around the corner, then you can kill them. Alrighty? And again, this is why you need that ammo guy. Or if you are the ammo guy, this is why these guys need you. I'm now out of bullets. Other than when I switch over to my, well, if I had my pistol, now I got a tracer dart. So I'm pretty much screwed. Until I get somebody here throwing ammo for me. Alrighty? So I think I covered it basically the most common questions everybody's had so far that I've come across. Enjoy the game. If you have any comments, just leave comments. Whatever.